Physical factors include deep navigable water and large level of land nearby. The economic factors consist of the availability of cheap raw materials, supply of cheap labor, and the availability of high capital and market. Both these factors are essential for the growth and development of a shipbuilding industry. Now over here, some chief shipbuilding countries are mentioned: Japan, Sweden, UK, West Germany, France, Italy, Poland, Netherlands and USA. You may underline it. Now in India there are 4 shipbuilding centers. Okay, that is, first is Hindustan Shipyard at Visakhapatnam, the Garden Reach Workshops at Kolkata, the Mazagon Dock at Mumbai, and the Cochin Shipyard at Kochi. And all these shipyards are in the public sector. Next is automobile industry. The products of an automobile industry include, these are the inputs, like these products are end products, no? That is motorcycles, cars, buses, trucks, tractors. It is a heavy industry and requires quality iron and steel. So raw material required is iron and steel. Tremendous progress has been seen in the automobile industry of the world in a short span of time. Short span of time means in a very short time there's a lot of progress in this industry. Despite numerous complexities in comparison to other industries, it has managed to introduce changes in the departments of operations, designs and functionality in a very efficient manner. The assembly line method, please underline assembly line method, very important, made popular by Henry Ford in manufacturing automobiles is commendable. Commendable is appreciable. The principle of an assembly line is that, please underline, is very important. Now what is assembly line method? It's explained over here. The principle of an assembly line is that each worker is assigned one very specific task which they perform continuously, and then the process moves to the next worker who continues his step in the work cycle until the task is completed and the product is made. It is a way to mass produce goods quickly and efficiently. In the assembly line method, all the work does not have to be performed by humans. Some steps can be performed by machines or robots. Now come to the definition part. What is assembly line method? A manufacturing process in which parts are added as semi-finished assembly moves from workstation to workstation where the parts are added in sequence until the final assembly is produced. You can understand, there's the processes keep taking place one by one from one workstation to another. Okay, now you can see over here, the automobile industry divides labor on the basis of specialization. Growth and development of an automobile industry depends on numerous factors which have been listed below. Large supplies of iron and steel, wood, glass and fuel. So these are all the requirements of the automobile industry. Then we need highly skilled labor, high degree of scientific and engineering skill, large amount of capital is money, the domestic market demand, and like how much demand we have in the market. The principal producers of automobile industry are USA, Japan, Great Britain, West Germany, France and Italy. These countries together account for about 80% of the total work production and assembly of cars and vehicles. Canada and USSR are known to have well-established automobile industries. The automobile industry is progressing rapidly in India. At present, India manufactures more than 50 models of cars. Some famous car models include Maruti manufactured near Delhi, Ambassador model manufactured at Kolkata, Hyundai, Santro and Accent model manufactured at Chennai. So children, now coming back to this point, what is assembly line method? So what happens? There are various workstations where the manual labor as well as the machines are involved in the processing of a finished product. As you get, suppose we have to manufacture a motor car, what happens? Now first beginning with the iron, the use of metal, okay, then how it is processed and how the body of a particular motor car is made, okay, how the engines are fit, the engineering skill, the scientific, the scientific and engineering skills applied over here, and then one by one, then the windows, the glasses are inserted, and then the tires, okay, the machinery, the body, the paint. So that it's a way when one process, when the activity is done from one workstation to another work, it is passed on to another workstation to get a complete motor car, right? So that is what assembly line is. You just have to go through it once again. Next we have fishing industry. Fishing industry includes any activity concerned with taking, culturing, processing, preserving, storing, transporting, marketing or selling of fish or fish products. It is defined by FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization, as recreational, subsistence and commercial fishing, and the harvesting, processing and the marketing sectors. The commercial activity is aimed at delivery of fish. You may underline this, okay? And delivery of fish and other seafood products for human consumption or for use as raw material in other industrial process. The top fish producing countries today are China, India, Peru, Indonesia, US, and some of the countries that are notable for exports of frozen fish in terms of value are Russia, Norway, Chile, and Taiwan. In the developing countries, fish farming is also called aquaculture, right? Is also becoming immensely popular. In the US, the fishing industry is concentrated along the Gulf and New England coast in the Atlantic, and most of the west coast and Alaskan waters in Pacific and Arctic oceans. Then we have in India, fishing is more developed along the western coast than in eastern coast because the continental shelf in western coast is wider, which means more plankton. Please underline why fishing is more developed in the western coast, because in the western coast, you may underline, it's because the continental shelf in western coast is wider. That means there are more planktons. And what do the planktons do? Planktons are actually the organisms which are a source of food to many large aquatic organisms like fish and whales. Fish and whales feed on planktons. You can just come to the definitions part also, which means more plankton. Since fish feed on plankton, there will be more fish where plankton is abundant. Abundant means, I've explained to you, it means plenty, in a lot amount. Since fish feed on plankton, there will be more fish where plankton is abundant. And the reason for Indian fishing developing on the western coast is the availability of the commercial varieties like prawns, mackerel along the western coast. That means you will find more varieties of, like other than the fish, you'll find prawns and mackerel also in this coast. So the main fishing harbors of India include Mangalore, it's in Karnataka, Kochi in Kerala, Chennai in Tamil Nadu, Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh, and Raichak in Kolkata, West Bengal. Right? Now, what are the causes of industrial pollution? Next topic is the causes of industrial pollution. The release of waste and pollutants into the natural environment like air, water and land generated by industrial activity is referred to as industrial pollution. You may underline please. This is the definition as well as some information about it. The industrial pollution is not only linked to the degradation of natural environment. Degradation means it lowering of the qualitative environment, natural environment. So, but it also impacts the environment, leading to severe repercussions on human lives and health. So, it also affects the human lives and health. Industrial pollution damages plants, kills animals and causes imbalance in ecosystem, thereby degrading the quality of life. So, this is explained what repercussions occur on humans. Okay. Then major industries such as power stations, steel mills, sewage treatment plants, heating plants and glass smelting contribute to industrial pollution. They release smoke, effluents. What are effluents? Effluents are liquid waste or sewage discharged into a river or the sea. That is mentioned over here. Okay. Then we have toxic. Toxic means poisonous. Byproducts. Byproducts are something that is produced as a result of making something else. We are making something else and some extra materials produced are called byproducts. Okay, and these are unexpectedly produce things. Okay, this the contaminated residues and chemical consumer products that eventually end up in the environment, thereby causing pollution. That means when something is prepared in the industries, like the release of smoke and other the byproducts, what do? They cause pollution in the environment. Now, what are the measures or prevent or the measures to prevent industrial pollution? These are mentioned over here. Okay, so now first is the selection of an industry site is crucial. The industrial site need to be properly examined with respect to the existing climatic and topographical characteristics of location where the industry will be set up. We should look for a proper place to set up an industry. Then waste should be subjected to proper treatment prior to the discharge. So there should be a proper discharge of the industrial waste that should be properly managed. Then if the location of industry is surrounded by intensive plantation, it considerably reduces occurrence of dust, smoke and other pollutants. Then if an industry is surrounded by proper trees and all, so it reduces the occurrence of dust, smoke and other pollutants. So we should plant trees. Okay, therefore government should take strict action against industries which discharge a large amount of pollutants in the environment than the level prescribed by the pollution control boards. So pollution control board should take some action against those industries which violate the rules of the government policies. Research should be regularly carried out at industrial sites to identify and evaluate the potential and harmful impacts of industries on the ecosystem. The Environment Protection Act should be strictly followed. So though the industries are very important in our lives, but there are some but they are also responsible for polluting the environment, and these are the preventive measures which are supposed to be taken to avoid the imbalance in nature. So I end up the chapter over here. In the next video we'll continue with our question answers and the book exercises. Children, get ready with your notebooks.